Pierre Poilievre, over the past year and a bit, has faced repeated criticism, some of it from within his own party, that he has not pivoted. He's not adapted to the new reality of Donald Trump and the tariffs and sort of this new world order that Trump has created. And some folks actually think it cost him the last federal election. Remember, Poilievre and the Conservatives were running at something like a 25 percentage point lead on the Liberals, but that all vanished, and Poilievre lost not only the election, but also his own seat. Now, this is not the first time he's attempted sort of a rebranding, a pivot with a big major speech. In fact, just about a year ago, here in Ottawa, he gave the Canada First speech. It was supposed to adapt to this new reality of Donald Trump and his very aggressive policy towards trade, but that really didn't seem to stick, and he still continued to attack Mark Carney and the Liberals for failing to get a deal with the Trump administration. And of course, we know the only deal that the Trump administration is looking for right now, we've heard from Jameson Greer, who is the trade representative this week, saying that any kind of renegotiation of a trade arrangement between the two countries is going to have some kind of tariff in place instead of the mostly tariff-free trade we do under the CUSMA agreement. So a lot of expectation about what Poilievre is going to say in this. What is he going to say about Canada's relationship with China? What is he going to say about how we should be approaching Donald Trump? When Poilievre gave a speech only at the end of January before his leadership review at a Conservative convention in Calgary, he didn't once mention Trump by name. And there is speculation that he is still trying to kind of both sides it here a little bit, because there was a sizable part of the Conservative Party voting base that actually does like Donald Trump. We see some of these public opinion polls that show that the vast majority of Canadians don't like Trump. They think he's a destructive force. They think he's ruining the relationship between the two countries. But about 50% of Conservative voters actually are okay with Trump. So this is a tough one for Poilievre to play. He doesn't want to alienate those people, but he is also now coming to realize that some of this criticism about his failure to take on Trump, to criticize Trump directly, is starting to hurt his brand. And we know just in the last couple of weeks, more and more polls showing that Carney and the Liberals are pulling ahead, both in terms of the leader's popularity as well as party vote intention. So this is a real problem for Pierre Poilievre. So they say he's done these kind of speeches before. He gave a speech to the Economic Club of Canada, where he's speaking today, back in November too. Didn't really seem to turn things around for him. He still had the people leaving his caucus. He's lost 3 MPs so far who have crossed the floor. Potentially, he could lose more. So this is a make or break speech for Pierre Poilievre. We'll see how that audience down at the Delta Hotel in downtown receive that speech. Mostly business folks there. How do they react to it? And then more largely, whether Canadians in general think that he is aligned with their views about how we should deal in FISA with Donald Trump and the threats to the Canadian economy he presents.